G'day guys, how you going? We're just here together now with Chris from Pro Power and Chris again from TORUS. So it's the two Chris's. We're just doing a bit of a cross promotion here for our products. And the reason we're doing this is Chris has a premium product in Pro Power that's fantastic for our caravans. It's great for the grey water tanks and toilets, and he'll explain a little bit more about that later. And our caravan is a premium product in its range. It's 3 times the insulation of a standard caravan. It's twice as strong as a wood framed or an aluminium frame van, and it's hail resistant and rot proof. The structure comes with a 10-year structural warranty, so it is also a premium product. So I'd like to take you through a little bit of the tech behind the van, and then Chris will do a bit of a talk on his stuff. This is a structural aircraft foam and a vacuum sandwich panel. Basically, the walls are vacuum formed in one piece. They're built off glass tables. The glass tables are about 25mm thick, 10 metres long, and they're laid out and vacuum formed with a bag in one piece. It takes about 170 minutes. Once it's vacuumed, it's formed. You can span these walls 10 metres and stand on them. They will bend, and when you get off, they'll come back to their original positions. If you do this for an aluminium frame wall or a wood frame wall, they will bend. When you get off them, they'll come back to various degrees. So a wood frame will come back a bit, and an aluminium frame wall will probably stay where it is. So this is the best form of build tech for off-road, because it wants to retain its shape. It will flex and bend, but it will want to retain its shape. The suspension on these is also pretty magical. They're a dual nitrogen gas strut trailing arm independent suspension. So they're a 12-inch off-road hub and bearing on a 16-inch rim and tyre. So you have a trailing arm with a spring and 2 nitrogen gas struts. So they're a full off-road caravan, and they're built to last off-road. So the full warranty is covered. You can see the van is quite high. It's a bit exaggerated here because we're on a slope, but you can see coming into the van, and then the height of the van here, there is a lot of clearance in the van. So and your tail in and tail out on the vans are designed for off-road. You can see the clearance you've got at the back. So there's a lot of clearance to come in and out of gullies as well. For the roof system, we actually don't have a flat roof. All the caravans have a flat roof, and the problem with having a flat roof is they will all dip as soon as they're made. And when they're dipped, they can pull water into the centres, so around your hatches and your air cons and the heavy parts of the roof. And as you drive, those roofs bounce, and they will flex your walls, and they'll put pressure on your internals. So if you go off-road, that's exaggerated again. So if you can imagine traveling for a year or so on and off-road, you have a lot of wear and tear on your van and the joints and the connections of your van. So what I did 20 years ago was develop a different roof system. So this is a very special roof system. Caravans don't generally have this. We vacuum form our roof in a mold. So what happens is an egg shape. When you've got an egg shape, you've got strength. And what we do is it takes about 170 minutes, and it's vacuum formed upside down. Once it's set, it's ready to go. And when it's installed onto the roof, you have a 4-degree pitch. So you have, from the center of the aircon is always the high point, so it's 4 degrees east-west, and then 4 degrees north-south. It's quite difficult to see from the outside, this pitch, but what it does is positively pitches your roof. You don't get the exaggerated bounce, and hence your structures are not put under so much pressure. Our tunnel boots are very impressive to start with, and I'll talk through that in a second, but I'll just show you our cooking area that we offer to people. This is a flat trace double slide. You simply can slide your kitchen out, and you're ready to go. Basically, you have a bayonet fitting at the side here, and we have permanent water connection also under this side. So if you wanted to also set up a sink and a table, you can do that as well, but you've got cooking very quickly. The good thing about this is you can take this away, and you can see we go all the way through. This is lined with fiberglass and aluminium, so you can virtually hose them out. This is the new Ziggy Nomad, and they're fantastic. They cook really well, just like a Weber. We have hot and cold water taps here, and you could put quick connects on those, but it's in the area where you do your cooking. Taurus always has 2 picnic tables. This is the gas point, handy for your barbecue, so all together. We'll move on to the toolboxes. All Tauruses have slides, so you have a slide this side, a fridge slide, and then you have a generator slide on that side. They're designed as multi-use, so you don't just have to use it with a fridge. You can use your tools and whatever hard stuff that you'd like to put in there. They do have power, so you have a 12-volt power on this side. Moving forward, there's 2 types, so you can have your toolbox split. So you'll get 2 toolboxes like this that go all the way to the edge. The idea of that is you can then have a gap in between. You can put max tracks to the front of this, and you could have a wood box. So you can store wood in there as you travel, or you can have them forward and have the longer boxes. So there's no cost difference between the two, it's just a choice for you to make. So 2 9 kg gas bottles, so it's a lot of gas storage available. Stone guard, the Boss jockey plate. This is generally optioned by most people. It's about a $150 option to our standard, but it's very handy because they stay on the van and you use a drill to operate them. DO35, which is a 3.5 ton off-road hitch. They're very easy to get on, even if you're slightly off. This is the other side of the tunnel boot, and you've got still very good storage space in here. A lot of space there to be able to store stuff, and that's the good thing about that Ziegler and Brown is if you didn't want it there and you wanted to put it in your car and you had bigger stuff, you can actually take it out. So all Taurus vans have rock rails. This is just to save you if you're going down a track and you didn't see a rock, you turn sharp and it could damage your wall. So that's what basically they're for. You've also got on all Taurus vans external battery boxes. Okay, the idea for this is to get your batteries outside and give you more space inside. All the new lithium and our AGM ranges that we use are all sealed batteries, so the water coming in and out of there is not a problem. We even put a mud flap to the front. The reason I did that is I saw a van come back from about a 2-year trek, and pretty much the front was concaved. So we decided we'd put a mud flap to the front and protect it. We also put an Anderson plug. This one's got a slightly larger 100 amperage plug, but we generally do a 50 amp grey, and that's for your suitcase solars or your solar blankets to put on here. So your batteries are located in there. All our caravans on both sides have trailer mount jacking points, so if you do have that system, it's available to you. We also have welded half cup on the bottom of the swing arms to use a normal bottle jack. So you can just jack up the swing arm if you want to change a tyre. The alternate to that is we do offer Boss legs that actually can lift your whole caravan and you can change a tyre. The legs that are on to standard are just for levelling, but the Boss legs actually will lift your whole van. You don't need to have a jack under there. So that's a good product. Not cheap, but it's a good product. Every Taurus van has an external hot cold shower. So that box here contains a shower. So if you've been for a swim, you can actually come and rinse off here. And we have a 3rd picnic table. So you think, why would you have a 3rd picnic table on a caravan? Well, the reason we put this here is because we do install a shower. So it allows you to put your products here, but it has a second purpose. These are your water filler tanks. So if you're going off grid, you're going to fill water in them. The Taurus vans, you can actually individually fill water. So you have valves on the inside that you can turn on and off to select the tanks. So if you were free camping and you were near a river, you can actually put river water in one tank. And so if you've got the water from the river, you can place it up here and then centrifugally feed it into your tank. So this is a compressor fridge. This is the back of the fridge. There's a drain hose that runs down for this fridge. There's a bit of a gap here, so there's a void at the back, and that's as per instructions for the van, for the fridge to be installed in the van. A lot of the vans have three-way fridges. We don't run three-way fridges, we run two-way fridges. The reason we do that is because they run cooler in the summer. They have a very low draw on 12 volt. So essentially, if you have enough batteries and enough solar, you can run your fridges 24/7 and you'll never need to do anything with them. If you're a three-way fridge, you're paying for your gas. So if you're an off-grid, you're going to pay for your gas, and that's the way the condenser fridges work, the three-way fridges. The two-way fridges either work on 240 or 12, but essentially they're a 12 volt fridge. So they will run basically much cooler than a three-way fridge will run in tropical areas. So it actually will stay cold and your things will get frozen. So that's why we run them. The other reason we run them is you don't have giant vents in your van. So three-way fridges must have vents, top and bottom. But the problem with that is if you go off grid, you're circulating dust, and eventually that dust will make it through your cabinets into your van if it's a very dusty track. The advantage of a two-way fridge is you don't have to have that. In the instructions they do say to fit it. We don't fit it. What we do is we fit a hatch to the outside, so if it is hot, you can come and open this hatch, it will cool down and your voltage will drop down on your drawer for your fridge. But we're just avoiding having dust coming in the vans. All our caravans have, by standard, a TORUS RV hot water system. It's a German hot water system if you want to run it on gas. Otherwise, if you run it on electric, 240, you don't need to take that cover off. They have a stainless steel tank, and you don't need to change anodes. So it's a bonus for everyone who annually or biannually changes their anodes in their hot water system. It's dual fuel, so LPG 240. All the TORUS vans come with 2 jerry can holders. We do that standard on our vans, and also a spare tyre. The tyre can actually be moved, so it's not fixed in one position. So that gives you options. If you intend to have a bike carrier on here, we do have 2 recovery points. So these recovery points here can come out. A bike carrier can slide in and you just U-bolt to here, so you can get a 2 or a 4 bike carrier on there. I've even seen e-bikes and small motorbikes go on the back because this is very strong bumper bar. We do have 2 points, so you still got 1 spare. So if you get yourself bogged somewhere and you need to be pulled out, there's another recovery point under there. So at the back here, just to show you, if you option a diesel heater, this is where we mount it. We actually paint them because we think the tank will actually degrade in the sun. You can see the top's not painted. We usually tape a line in here so you can see your fuel level as well, but that's where we'd put the diesel heater. It's quite safe there, out of the way, and you can actually easily fill it. It wouldn't be this high. We're on a hill here, so it wouldn't be neck high. Yeah, the vans come with a dual camera system. We offer 2 cameras as a standard, so that's a reversing position with a grid and then a driving position. So you're comfortably driving. You're usually used to looking up in your rear vision mirror when you drive to see what's behind you. This will give you that position, and we give you the screen as well that clips onto your rear vision. The vans all come with a roller awning. They're basically a 2.2 metre extended awning, very strong. We recommend the manual awnings, not electric awnings, the same as the steps. Manual steps, not electric steps, just something else to go wrong. The lights on the outside, so they're very bright. They're actually dimmable as well, so we put dimmers on this side of the van. And all our new vans have bug lights, so you'll have an option to switch between white or amber lighting on the outside, and that's also up at your barbecue area as well. The floor system is actually very strong. It's an impact resistant woven mat. It's quite different even to the walls. You'll see the black underneath. That actually is one piece, no joins the whole way. So you're not like a normal layout where you'd have sheets and then join the sheets under here and then tar them black. It's nothing like that, and they're very strong. So they come back from 2 years of traveling off-road, and they're almost new underneath, so very, very good. We do protect a lot of the underside of the van. The inside of the van is very comfortable in summer. As soon as you open windows, the van becomes very cool because of the insulation. We're standing here on basically in an esky. It's essentially a refrigerated truck, so it's very easy to make warm and stay warm, and it's also very quick to make cold and stay cold. So it's a very efficient way to live for Australia. The features in this van, some things you really like. All the women love this, which is a pantry with a benchtop extension. So it just gives you a little bit more space than a compact van. You've got quite generous drawers here, and we even do the cutout to give you more space around the sink, around the drain. Again, cutout. And then at the bottom here, we're actually giving you a feature that's allowing you to turn tanks on and off. So you can individually, as I said outside, individually fill tanks. This caravan's fitted with footrests, and you can actually put your feet up if you're sitting here and lock it into place and sit back. And they have a pillow here that allows you to use for your back. This is a tri-fold setup, so it's quite a quick way. A lot of couples use this setup, so it's a quick way to have your table come out and set up, and then have your table go back. Under here is the secret liquor cabinet for all the essentials that you need on your trip. We have in this system an inverter, and it has a remote switch at your feet here. That will allow us actually to run a microwave. Okay, so the other things it can do, if you have enough batteries, we can link up to your aircon, but it's my advice not to do that too much. You could run it for 40 minutes or so to cool your van down. But you want a 3000 watt inverter, and you want big lithium batteries to be able to afford that. These are all double glazed windows, so this matches the insulation factor of the caravan as well. These windows have two positions, so you've got seal, so that's actually sealing for dust and water when you travel, or if you're parked you can let air in and still be locked. So these are European, this is actually Aussie Traveller windows. Then you have a full block out and a midge fly screen, so you can have all the way down, all the way blocked or open. You can actually service and clean these quite well. Aussie Traveller product's very good. We run Thetford hobs and grills. You can also have a full oven as well. Most people don't choose that. So you'll have two gas, one electric. So if you're on off grid, then it's gas, and then if you're powered up on a caravan park, you can actually spend their money and use your electric hob. Lighting wise, we have quite a lot of options in the van. You have underfoot lighting, which you can actually just have on by itself. So in the night, if you just like that light on, you got overheads above the cupboards as well, and the LEDs. You can have them in this color or a warm color as well. And then you've got your LED lights, which are turned on via main lights are turned on via switch. So we can turn off our lights and we can just have our underfloors on, or we can have them all on. The other lights in the vans are fixed lights, but they actually special. They have a touch at the front of them, and you can dim, turn on and off. So any place where we've got a place in the kitchen or in your beds, so in your bed area, if we walk through here, you'll have a reading light here, so directional lights, and then you'll have the touch lights that dim. So if you don't like it too bright, you can reduce the levels of the brightness down. You can see that we have hanging space here. We have a nook that comes through, and the reason we do that is we place a pocket here for your phones. So you can slip your iPhone in here, and you have USB chargers in there and power points. So if you've got a CPAP machine, you can run your cords through there as well, so it all becomes very handy. A lot of people option 2 shelves, so we actually now standard are 2 shelves. So we put one shelf just above that nook, and we put another shelf above this, and we make them removable so that you can then choose to make it a hanging space or shelf space. and you've got a small shelf above here as well for storage. So anywhere we can get you storage, we'll give you storage. The bars, you might be wondering about the bars. The bars are there if you pack things in to stop them falling out when you open your cupboard. So it just assists that. We do that in all of our cupboards. It has a nice boat feel. The caravan is quite nicely made. The off-road features of this van would include a DRS. So a lot of people option a DRS, and this is a DRS here. It basically has a cartridge inside that filters air through the caravan. So at about 40 k's an hour, it will have a vortex system, and it will start to pressurize the caravan. So it's a dust reduction system. So you can have fan systems. We prefer these because they're not powered, and so there's less to go wrong with them. This is the compressor fridge I talked about before. We generally will do Thetford or Dometic fridges because these have 3 years warranty, very good products, very good service. They even have features like this that if you come back, you can air out your fridge. So that's quite a good feature to have. Our microwaves are Sphere, quite available, very good service. We don't staple our furniture, we blocks and screw. If you get some damage to your furniture, you can actually disassemble this furniture and reassemble the furniture. Hinges, we don't do piano hinges and gas struts because what happens is the gas struts is they run out after a year and all your overheads will start to slam. These are all sprung. They're very, very strong. I can really swing on it and it won't break, but they're soft close. This is a rear ensuite van. The advantage you get in these vans is we actually use our side wall, our rear wall, and our roof for part of the shower. So the reason we can do it is we're inside out vacuum formed fiberglass. We use a German Sikaflex and we bond a base in. But what it does give you is an enormous shower. Our wash machine's in here, so it's a top loader wash machine, 3.2 kilos, that'll be our standard. We do offer a service hatch as well. That's just to service the van, makes it easier for people. You've got the normal rear ensuite features. Our hot water system actually goes in there. And if you don't run a hot water system on there, then we can make that accessible via hatch outside. You can have a standard toilet in here, so that's a chemical toilet, but you can also have a composting toilet in here, which a lot of people are now going to, and it's very good for the environment and for off-grid because you don't use water with it. So initially you put a little bit of water, about a kettle full, and the toilet will last for about a month for a couple. It smells much better than a chemical toilet. You also have in all our vans water level monitors. We do have grey level water level monitors on a float switch as well, and we offer electronic or analog water level monitors. Our voltage display unit here gives you your volts, your amps, and your watts, so it's quite handy to access. That's very accurate because it comes off a shunt inside your battery box. Under here we'll just quickly show you some of our electronics. So this particular van has an inverter, so it's a 2000 watt inverter. It has a 200 amp breaker for the 2000 watt inverter. It has a DC-DC controller, so that basically does your solar. It will do your alternator from your car, and it also does your standby solar from outside. So while you're driving your car, it will decide how to charge the batteries from your alternator, but it also takes control of the solar from the roof as well. And this is a Victron charger, so that's a 240 to 12 volt charger, and then you just have some breakers in the line there. That's an inverted circuit breaker at the side, so that we run an inverted circuit in our vans. And these are just active neutral blocks to make it easier to connect because they're quite big wires when you run an inverter. Your vans have very good storage, so it's a gas lift. We've got a picnic table under there, but you can see there's quite a big space there to store things. And that's a diesel heater, so that's an option in the corner there. Diesel heater is a very small footprint, off-grid heating of course. We do have some other trailer breakers in here in the corner, but very handy. You can section that to store your things, and it's quite quick access to get to.
I'd like to thank TORUS RV and Chris Bolsover, who's actually been in the game for 20 years making magnificent vans like this. This van is one of his latest creations, and they're all designed and built really well. At Pro Power, we look after all the wastewater in your caravan and your RV. So we look after all your grey water, we look after all your black water. So your black water is in your cassettes, your grey water is from your kitchen sinks and your showers, etc. The great thing with our products is that they are all Australian, they are all natural, and they support the environment. Pro Power are live microbes. They feast on putrefying bacteria and they consume odour. They break down sludge and keep everything nice and clean. So in our grey tank specifically, we look after a factor which is called your FOGs. That's your fats, oils and greases. In your cassettes, we look after the uric acid scale that builds up within those toilet systems. Both of these products are actually a preventative maintenance as well as a treatment. By using these, you get to look after your van from top to bottom in all the wastewater aspects, and you're doing something that is going to maintain it, look after all the odours, and it will also look after the environment. So when purchasing one of these TORUS RVs, if you want to look after yourself from woe to go for all of your wastewater, our products of Probiotic Power will look after your cassette toilets, and they'll also look after your grey wastewater tanks. All the wastewater in the van will mitigate a lot of your dramas, get rid of your odour and keep everything nice and clean. That helps your warranty, that helps you, and it helps the environment. We're going to talk a little bit about our grey tank product here. That looks after all your wastewater from your showers and your sinks. What we're going to talk about actually is how to maintain your tanks if you do have problems. So we're not going to use the product in this video as a treatment, but we're going to use it as a, oh my god, this place stinks, how do we fix it? Essentially, the cheapest and best and simplest thing to do is to really pick up a bottle of Pro Power Grey, overdose it, so literally just pour the whole thing into your tanks, fill the tanks up to the brim and leave it. Don't touch it for at least a week to 2 weeks. By doing that and allowing that to sit between trips, or even just for a few weeks, you have the ability to actually clean out the whole tank and get rid of all the sludge, all the slurry, the grease, and all the things that cause odours and trouble within a grey tank. Really simple to use. Dump it anywhere, on your back lawn. It's 100% natural and it's good for the environment. With our grey wastewater product, a lot of people ask me at shows, well, look, I just run my wastewater straight through and out into a caravan park. So if you are doing that, one of the things that you can do to look after your tank still without using this product, sort of running it through and wasting it, is to actually do our first dose. So our first dose for these tanks is 60 ml. So you can do our first dose even a little higher, even up to 100 ml. So what I tell people to do is on their last day of holiday, turn off the valve on your tank, get about a half a tank of grey wastewater, put in your 100 ml, drive home, fill that up to the brim, and just leave that until you're on your next trip. That's a good way if you've already got clean tanks or it's a new van but you do run your tanks all the way through, is to actually mitigate any of the fats, oils and greases that are in there. And so it's also still a very cost-effective way of utilising this product. One of the other things that people often complain about is that their sensors foul up. Now, unfortunately, most caravan companies do use a standard water gauge or a water sensor in their grey water tanks. Now, water as per H2O and water as per grey water are two very different things. The viscosity or the thickness is much thicker in your grey water tank, and the problem with that is that it does leave a sludge or a slime over those sensors, so it is very hard to keep those clean. So you'll find some of the companies, including this one in the van we're standing in, they use a type of float switch if you do request that into their grey water systems. Now, this is an actual side entry float switch. This is a very simple small one that I carry to show people, but as you can see, it is not an arm with little electrical points. It's a physical moving product that actually can be maintained and kept clean very easily by using Pro Power. The other possibility is a top entry, and it's usually a slide that goes up and down a pole, and that reads back to your internal gauges and tells you how full or empty your tanks are. We're proud to introduce our latest addition to our range, which is our cassette and portaloo tank treatment. Now this, as per the rest of our products that look after wastewater, is all natural, all Australian, and supports the environment. The wonderful thing with this little product is that, as per our grey wastewater tank treatment, is that this is actually proactive also, so it's a preventative maintenance as well as a treatment for your cassettes and your toilets. You get 25 doses out of this small bottle, so it's super cost effective. You just put 20 mils into your lower tank. It will also do the upper tanks, so you don't need another product to put in your upper tank. You can actually use this. Whilst all the toilet manufacturers in the world recommend chemicals for their toilets, unfortunately they're not really giving you the best thing. By using something that's all natural and by using something that's a live microbe, you're actually able to use something that is a preventative measure as well as a treatment. So our product will actually double up and look after the uric scale. It builds up within a toilet cassette, and it will also look after all of your odour by consuming it. Now, some people say, well, what do we clean the toilets with? Well, you can even take some of this product out, dilute it 1 to 10 into a little spray bottle, and you can use that to clean all around your toilets and look after it. In today's vans, you now have the option of also having composting toilets. Now, composting toilets are a great option to the standard cassettes that are available. Our grey wastewater tank product is a product that can be used very well in conjunction with a composting toilet. Simply dilute the product 1 to 10 with water, and you can use that and spray it into the toilet. Now what this will do is that it will actually control all of the odor from the urine side and the uric acid scale, and it will also break down the pile that accumulates in the other section of that toilet. So it is a good all-natural product that can be used to complement the use of a composting toilet. For more information on our products, please jump on the web, go to probioticpower.com.au, have a look through our products page, have a look at some of the other videos that we've got on there. My number's on there if you have any other questions. I'm always happy to help. So thank you so much for watching this video, and we look forward to be serving you soon.
I think that's a wrap for us. If you would like to contact us, you can call me on 0414 565 806 or chris@trailcaravans.com.au. If you're looking for a van, feel free to come and see us at Morisset, and we hope to see you then.